4 weeks ago, I had a discussion with my supervisor and got to know my team will have some additional people coming from a compliance department because of the restructuring strategies. I was honestly very, very happy to learn about it because I welcome new challenges, opportunities. In this case, I was thinking of it will give us option to look at new data, new issues, and org-wide access to the data or problems that our organization is facing, which is true. And we got to know that there are about 13 to 14 different products are coming to our way, which we would have to handle. But the challenge we had is about the timeline. We only have about 4 weeks to handle. And within the 4 weeks, we actually or truly had 2 weeks of timeline to handle things. What happened is because of the timeline issues, it brought additional challenges to my team. So one thing is, when we looked at the data within 2 weeks, we quickly realized that there are definite issues with the documentation, meaning not enough documentation was done, apart from some comments provided on the Python scripts. And honestly, it's not enough because when you look at Python scripts, you understand for each cell why that cell was written, but it never tells you more context, like why this project was taken, what is the regular issues, if there are any issues related to the project and bug fixing, and who requests those kind of projects, what kind of insights that you are going to share with the folks, and who is actually primarily using them. Because we didn't have those information, we were kind of in jeopardy because of the timeline, and we had to figure out all those additional details. And I was the only one who was supposed to take that in. Then I honestly realized that it will take me time, and my other team member and my team will suffer because I have to also provide oversight for the current projects that my team is handling and working on. So what I did is I delegated those transition projects to one of my team member who is strong in those skill set. And at the same time, it freed up my time to allocate resources for the current team to perform the work they're supposed to work on. And as a result of that, what happened is within the short amount of time, my team member was able to produce the report that was time sensitive. At the same time, the person I delegated, that person was able to take it in and create documentation. But honestly, it was super hectic because it was not enough to understand all the projects in depth. We were able to only run the projects. For example, we understood the tech stack, Python, SQL, Power BI, Tableau, and all other things. Yes, it was done. But what was not done is the documentation. And that is where the next risk points are in. So when we are handing over to most appropriate team member next time, because beside primary owner, there should be someone else who works as a backup owner. And to spread these projects evenly within the team members, it's very important to perform the documentation. So what happens is because of the documentation was not done, there would be more additional time to work on this. Anyway, so going back to the merger thing. So the other issue you see within the merger is the problem around the new employees. Obviously, there will be new learning curve for those employees. At the same time, for me, for my team as well. So helping them to that cultural shift matters a lot because they come from a different environment, different political system, and different other issues. So adjusting them within this time frame, it was difficult. But here's the thing I would like to share with you all. If you ever face this kind of merger issues, first of all, get to know what are you going to work on so you can calculate the resources. At the same time, you can keep your leadership happy about it because you do have to communicate with them. You do have to manage their expectation. If they do not know your true resources, they wouldn't know how much to take in or how much to discard. For example, they could have said, okay, Because of the resource allocation problem, we are not going to take in all 12 projects. We'll take 5 at this point and we will discard the rest or transfer it to a new different ownership, which has happened to me as well. I communicated with my leadership and explained them that according to the resource, the skill set gap, these are the projects that should be our immediate priorities, and the rest of the projects can wait until we have some good amount of time to think about what to do with it. And leadership agreed. So my suggestion to you, if you ever face this kind of merger, absolutely make an audit to see where you are, how much resources you have, how many products coming to your way, and what is the maintenance time for those or development time for those, and plan accordingly. I'm sure your life will be in a much better shape than those chaotic moments. So that's all for today. If you want to know more about this kind of data story, follow my channel.